Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hari Om Tat Sat. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, third chapter Karma Yoga, ABCD about the action. We are in the end of this chapter, end portion of the chapter. Bhagavan Shri Krishna started giving the answer from the 37th Sloka for the question asked by the Arjuna, O Lord, what is that? Even though people know what is good and what is bad, what is dharma, what is adharma, but still they go in the wrong path and adharmic path. What is that power make them to go into that wrong way? This is my question. It looks like that there is some power or somebody is pushing them unconsciously, unknowingly, and propelling them to act in a wrong way, in a adharmic way. Papam charati purushaha kimischan. For that, Bhagavan started giving the answer in the 37th shloka. We have seen the meaning of 37th and 38th also I introduced. The reply given by the Lord is the reason, first of all, the problem is that the kama and krodha, these are the two things which are the main culprits. Here, Bhagavan given different gunas, the nature of this kama and krodha also, they are maha ashanaha, maha papma, and rajoguna samudbhavaha. In fact, this kama and krodha, they were not two, but just one and the same in a different disguise. So that's why Bhagavan used the singular here, kama esha, krodha esha. So they are not separate. That's why their nature also, they are the cause for the person to commit the big sins, maha papma. And not only that, they never get satisfied also, maha ashanaha, whose belly is never filled. Okay, and so these are the two things you know that they are the enemies to the person. Then after telling these kama krodha, these things are hidden as like this in a different level of strength according to the three gunas, three levels. So Bhagavan given three examples for that. 38th shloka I will read once again. Dhume navriyate vahnihi yatha darsho malena cha yathulbenavruto garbhaha tatha tenedamavrutam. The first example given by the Lord is as like the fire covered by the smoke. And this one example is indicating the different level of the intensity of that hiding place. Now, for example, now here itself I will clarify that each example represents refer to what guna. See, if the smoke is covering the fire and fire is not able to see, then if you put a little effort of by fanning or blowing the wind, the smoke will go away with little effort. There is no much difficulty. So, in the same way, the satvika kama, they are easily can be removed and they won't give much problem. For example, what are the Bhagavan didn't give the example, what is that? Actually, we are deriving the inner meaning from these three examples. The one simple example is as like today I just thought of going to the temple, but somehow for some reason I am not able to go to the temple, visit the temple. Do I get angry? Do I become angry? No. Little bit I will just think that okay, I decided but not able to go. That much you will just feel, but there is no anger in you. Okay. So in the same way, today you thought of listening to this class, but somehow some guests came in the house or you went somewhere for some urgent work. So you won't become angry because of this, skipping these good kind of sattvic actions. But remember, if the same thing, suppose your friend or the maybe husband, okay, told that evening I will come early from the office, today we'll go to the movie. And if the husband didn't turn up on time and not able to take you to the movie, you will become so angry. You will get anger. Yes? So that is the difference. So sattvika desires okay, won't problem and trouble you much as like the fire covered by the smoke with little effort it can be removed. Now, second example is given the dust on the mirror. Dust on the mirror. Dust also, if it is stuck to the mirror, it won't just go like that. If you simply blow the air, it won't go. You need to take some soft cloth and clean it. Sometimes, if that mirror is in the kitchen and because of the kitchen work and all that cooking, there is a greasy type of dust and stuck upon the mirror. Gradually, in course of time, it will happen. Then even a little effort of the soft cloth, it is not enough. You need to take some soap or some kind of oil to clean it. You have to rub it, scrub. Then only it will go. So that is the difference here. The second example, that means Rajoguna related desires are stuck up in the mind. They won't leave you that much easily, and they will harm you. Rajoguna, Rajasic desires. What is Rajasic, Sattvic, Tamasic? We told before that when we are talking about the karma. Sattvika karma is that where you get a little benefit and more benefit will come because of your action to many others also. In Rajasika desire, karma, you will get more than 60-70% of the benefit and little bit to the others. That too, not the society or the unknown people, but that benefit also only to your family members and to your relatives and to your known people. Tamasika karma, where I will get maximum benefit, and for that my maximum benefit to gain, I do maximum harm to maximum people. Got the point? So in this way, the difference between these all. So now here we are talking about these gunas, how Bhagavan given the examples. So you need to put efforts. Now third example is represents the tamasika guna. The child baby which is in the mother's womb, covered by that fetus fluid, okay, a water bag like sac, ulbanam, and the baby is actually in that water bag, and in that the water bag is in the uterus, garbham, and that is covered by the, again this kind of uh, water bag. Okay, in that the baby is living and getting the food and everything directly connected to the umbilical cord from the mother. The uterus blood vessels, it supply the blood and everything. Okay, now here the baby is completely in the jail, like no light, no space to move. She cannot, the baby cannot open the eyes. Everything is very water, and so very little space. Cannot say anything, cannot ask anything. Helplessly, the baby is lying in the mother's womb. Then what? How you can do? You have to just wait for the time. You have to just wait for the time, and the time will makes everything clear, and the baby will come out and become free from that inner congested, the dark space in the mother's womb. And it is very painful also for the child. So you have to just wait for this. So tamasika guna. In the people, these desires are too strong, and they simply cannot go by blowing the air like, or rubbing the dust on the mirror. The time has to come for them. They never listen to the Lord's words. They never come to the Guru. They never listen to the scriptures, and they are so adamant and arrogant and headstrong, and they don't understand and they don't like to listen to anybody, and only in some other janmas they can come out of that, from the clutches of the desire. That too, the desire is tamasic karma. What whatever he do, he keep on create again and again and again sin only. When he commit lot of sins and again adharmic way of life, naturally next life also he has to suffer, and he will go through that only. Very difficult to come out. That's why it's very important for us to perform your dharmic actions to purify ourselves, and not to commit further sins and get into the darkness. So here, like that, Bhagavan given three examples which tells about the three gunas, which is one is powerful than the other, one is more powerful than the other one. So after telling this, that means what? We can have the Shuddha Kamanas or the Sattvic desires. Minimum desires will be there, no? I have to eat three times and I have to go to the. So if I don't desire to listen, now you want to listen this class, you must have desire to listen. That is also a desire. But these are all Sattvic desires. Sattvic desires never binds you, remember. That is the only thing. You won't become addict to any kind of desire. You can adjust and you can manipulate and you can live without them also. But ultimately, those sattvic desires will helps to clean your mind in later, in a slow process. Sattvic. So reading the scriptures, doing the parayanam, doing the japa, to do all these things, to go to the temple, to listen to the class, to approach the guru, to do some yoga practice. These are also desires only. But these desires will put you in a discipline and in a proper righteous manner. So your lifestyle should be governed by the sattvic desires, not by the rajoguna or tamoguna desires. And in 39th sloka today, we will see what Lord is going to tell. Before going today, we are going to complete the chapter most probably. The three things we are talking actually, Bhagavan also going to talk about altogether. One is um, the problem is what? Problem for suffering, problem for ignorance, problem for becoming a samsari, okay, caught up in this cycle of birth and death. What is the problem? That means karanam is what? And what is the nature of that karanam? What is its nature, swarupam? And what is the remedy, pariharam? So these are the three things altogether. Now we have saw that the problem is kama esha krodha esha rajoguna samudbhavaha, and their nature mahashanaha mahapapma vidhena ihvairinam. Okay, now Bhagavan further in 39th sloka also their nature only Bhagavan telling that the problem is kama krodha and their nature is avrutam gnanametena gnanino nitya कामरूपेण कौन्तेय दुष्पूरेण नलेन च. Further he enumerating, saying that yes, avrutam gnanam etena, avrutam gnanam etena. Because of these kama krodha etena, he kaunteya Arjuna, gnanam avrutam, they covered the gnanam. The covering principle only showed in the three examples, as the smoke covered the fire, as the dust covered the mirror, as the mm, uh, that's the sack, water sack surrounded bag, the baby in the womb. So they covered. Here, what is covered? Gnanam is covered. Gnanam. So, Gnanam, knowledge. That means what here? Gnana means not so big about the Brahma Gnanam or like that, all let it be there. But here, the common sense also. Many times we scold the people, no? No common sense. Common. Very minimum, simple. Being you are a human being, being you are a capable of thinking, being you are having a sixth sense intellect, can't you have this much common sense? Like that. So, Gnanam. Or if you take the Swarupa Gnanam, my real nature, Atma, that also, that is only going to be told in the end. Bhagavan concludes. So, Gnanam Avrutam Yetena, by this Kama Krodha curtain, Kama Krodha cover. And they are in the form of the Bhagavan himself is telling Kama Rupena. What is that name of that cover? What is the name of that shield? Kama Rupam. Kama. Even Bhagavan not much telling about the Krodha. First he mentioned, but here he is giving more importance to the desire. Because that is the root cause. But only take the another forms of the greediness and the anger and all that. Kama Rupena. and it is it can be never be fulfilled completely. Dushpurena and analena cha. It never say here. These are two important words. Purana means filling. Very difficult to satisfy and uh, say that enough. The enough word is alam. In Sanskrit, alam means enough. My stomach is full. But this desire is like analaha. Analaha means never say enough. That's why the fire is called in Sanskrit anilaha, analaha. That means which never says enough. For example, if the fire is there, you keep on put the fuel of anything, okay, petrol, kerosene, oil, ghee, or wooden pieces, this, that, and if that fire is so big, even iron, metal, everything it will start gulping, melts, swallows. Even the entire world, the fire can swallow. Such a powerful the fire. So that's why analaha. It never says enough, enough, enough. No, more you give, more it wants. Our desires are also like that. Dushpurena and analena cha. Because of they can never be satisfied, and they never, the desires never say that enough, I am gratified, enough. But again, after some time, again the desire comes and no, 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 I am again hungry. So in this way, Dushpurena Analena Cha, which is like the insatiable fire. That is the meaning. Then they are the biggest enemies are permanent, Nitya Vairena. They are always the inimical for whom? Mainly for a Gnaninaha. For a good people, for a sattvic people, for a dharmic people, for the wise people, those who want to walk in the spiritual path, particularly for them. That's why for all others, it doesn't matter because they are already drowned in that. They are already overpowered by the desires and all that. But normal materialistic people are these rajoguna tamasic people. It doesn't bother much because they are addicted and accustomed to it. They like to be like that. But the person who wants to come to the religious dharmic path and the spiritual path slowly, for him, they are always inimical, always permanent enemies. Okay, so that's why that means it is very difficult. There is always a tug of war between this good person and the dharma and adharma. So after telling this, Bhagavan, um, next in the other shloka, mm, where they, what is their hideouts? Okay, where I can find and go and correct it. You are generally telling desire, desire. I also know that it is there in my mind. Desire in the mind only, no. So there is any particular method or where can I can tackle them, find out these terrorists, so where they are hiding. So the hideout places are told here uh, in this 40th shloka. So we saw their karanam and swarupam. And now if you want the solution, if you want to conquer them, if you want to get it off from them, you must know that where I should tackle and where they are first. I must know. Then I will see what should I do. So Bhagavan is going to tell that also gradually. So in 40th shloka, इन्द्रियाणि मनो बुद्धिः अस्याधिष्ठानमुच्यते एतैर्विमोहयत्येषः ज्ञानमावृत्य देहिनम्. Okay, Arjuna, listen. These are the places. They are, you have to deal, we have to check for them. They are in the Indriyani, okay, the sense organs and the mind and the buddhi. Sense organs and the mind and the buddhi. So these are the uchyate adhishtanam asya, are said to be their base, their living place, their hiding place. Adhisthana means the hiding place or supporting. They're based on this. The desire is based on these three places, three things. And by sitting in these three places, okay, avrutam jnanam, they cover this common sense of the person, the knowledge of his own essential nature otherwise. And etaihi yeshaha, by these places, from by these uh, staying places, taking shelter in the three of them, yeshahi vimohayati, vividham mohayati, vimohayati. This desire deludes the person by covering his common sense. When common sense is covered, he will become a addict or a slave to them. So this individual, dehinam, see, so the essence is this. For every individual, his common sense of following the good and making good for him, which is hitam for him, not knowing, which is shreyas for him, not knowing, but he looks only for his priyam and the prayas. There are two words used in the Kathopanishad. This artha kamas are comes under the preyo marga. They will be cause for the downfall. But dharma and moksha are the shreyo marga, which helps the jiva, this individual person, to elevate and evolve. They helps to make him to recognize his divinity. But now he is at least in the animal level, at least the human level, but those ardha kamas will make him to go to the animalistic level. So we must know that these are the three hiding places of these Ch-3s. And always you must be careful. There are two things which we never leave a residue. One is the Ch-3 and another is the Vyadhi, the enemy and the disease. If the disease is treated half, okay, for example, any kind of abscess or any, if you are not removed fully, like this cancer, no, that even few 1-2 cells are there enough, they grow again. That's why they give that electrical chemotherapy and all those things and they destroy it completely. Same way, you should not leave any residual of the enemy. If you know that he is the enemy proved, then eliminate him. That is what Krishna's policy in the Bhagavad Gita regarding the dharma protection. So, after telling this, Bhagavan given the three places. Therefore, Arjuna, in the 41st shloka, we must control them. Okay? Tasmat tvamindriyanyadau niyamya bharatarshava Papmanam prajahihyenam gnana vijnana nashanam. Now, the concluding three shlokas, which are very important, the continuation of the previous shloka. Wherefore, because they are sitting in these three places of the senses, mind, and the buddhi, you must first of all tackle, hey Bharatarshabha. Okay? Bharatarshabha means best among the Bharatiyas and Bharatavamsha uh, race, or who is interested in Gnana Marga and who is interested to walk in the path of righteousness is called Bharatarshabha. That's why you must have guts and the courage to walk in the path of Dharma or the path of spirituality. It is not uh, everybody's cup of tea. You need some special courage for it. So control all the sense desires first. Tasma, therefore, uh, niyamya indriyani adau. First of all, control your sense organs. Actually, sense organs are working for the sake of the mind. If the mind peeps through them only, the sense organs function. But still, the first hand or the first receptionist, like who is seeing the things. For example, if I see this cell phone, I saw the cell phone. See, the first hand information, eyes gives, ears, all our sense organs. So indriyani. So let your sense organs not left freely to indulge in any seeing, listening, talking, smelling, eating, anything. All the five sense organs. So here generally we can take first our tongue. Tongue is in two in one. Okay, we do two actions: eating and talking. We must be very careful and have a control on these two things. Okay, because if you don't know how to talk, what to talk, when to talk, same way what to eat, when to eat, how to eat, if you don't know these things properly, they will become the main culprits. If this one tongue, which is two in one, is controlled, all other three organs, sense organs are all the other four sense organs are controlled. Controlled. So jite rasam, jite sarvam. They say in Sanskrit, jite rasam and taste actually. So this can apply to all other organs also. Eyes. Let eyes not to indulge and see unwanted, dirty, vulgar things. And so, first of all, control your senses. That is very important. Control the senses means what? You have to train them, turn them whenever they go to that particular unrequired, unpermissible things. So no permission with no admission without permission. So you have to keep the board inside. For that you need not to, you cannot close your eyes and sit all the time, or you cannot plug your eyes all the time. It is not possible. But inside there is a checking point. There is a metal detector. Nothing should, okay, go and disturb. Even the eyes sees, even the ears hear, and but still I have a control. So like this, no images. Trespassers will be prosecuted. In that way, you have to. Now this course of treatment is started giving. Now we know what is the disease, where the disease is, Now course of treatment should be done. But this course of treatment is only a first aid treatment. Remember, first aid treatment, because unless you know the truth, jnanam, your essential nature, unless you know the reality, your essential nature is Atma, you cannot avoid and get rid of from the desires. And if the desires are not controlled and avoided, you cannot abide in the self. See, these both are interlinked like. So here, in this first aid process, also Bhagavan giving the three-step method. Three steps. As like no first aid treatment, for example, one wound is there, you want to first stop the bleeding. So first you will clean with the some Dettol or the Savlon spirit, and then you will put the some medicine, and then you will put the cotton, then you will put the bandage, isn't it? So like that, three-step treatment, first aid. First aid is very important always, but that is not permanent. That you have to remember. Okay. What is that? First, Bhagavan telling Damaha. Okay. We already saw in the Sadhana Chatushay Sampatti or many other places, controlling the senses is called Damaha. Then second is Bhagavan didn't tell here. He mentioned the three things, Indriyani, Mano, Buddhi. But Bhagavan just told only in one place. That means you have to understand that you must do the then Shamaha. Shamaha means mind control, okay, at mental level. So at physical level, at mental level, and then Vivekaha, that is at the intellectual level. Have a discrimination power. Okay. So these three steps, okay, are called as the first aid treatment. Then main treatment Bhagavan will tell in the concluding slokas, but we will introduce that little. How? By, because Bhagavan in that 42nd shloka is going to bring the shloka from the Kathopanishad. In the Kathopanishad, every person is compared with a chariot, ratham, a vehicle like. There is a beautiful slokas there. What it says, I will quote those, and then we can connect to what Bhagavan telling in the 42nd shloka. Atmanam Atmanam Rathinam Vidhi Shariram Rathamevatu Buddhim Tu Saradhim Vidhi Manah Pragrahamevacha. See, the owner of this body, okay, who is using this body, and for whose purpose this body is there, he is the owner. Atmanam, I am Atma, the self Brahman, Atmanam. So he is the owner, Rathinam, who is sitting in the chariot. So the car is for me, I am the owner of the car, I use the car, I will sit and go. So, and with the Shariram, what is, so Atmanam Rathinam, who is sitting in the chariot is the Atma, and the chariot is here Shariram Rathamevatu. What is the chariot? The body is the vehicle, and in this I am the owner, Atma, but Atma I am a owner. I won't do anything. I will just sit like a Sakshi, and I have appointed a driver. Here the driver is Buddhim Tusaradhim Vidhi, the charioteer who controls and rides the chariot vehicle is Buddhi. And the Buddhi having a again control steering. If the horses means reins will be there, reins. If 5 horses, 5 ropes will be there. And these 5 ropes are together called as the pragraha. Manah pragraha evacha. Okay. All that 5 ropes comes and here joins, and that is holded by the Saradi Buddhi. That means the mind is the, like a steering. That is, if I say car and steering, you will understand easily. Steering is the mind, but controller is the buddhi. For whose sake? The vehicle owner who is sitting inside. So this called Ratha Kalpana. And after saying this, here now in this Kathopanishad compares that which is superior than which. इन्द्रियेभ्यः परा ह्यर्थाः अर्धेभ्यश्च परं मनः. Indriyebhyah para ardhaha. Ardha means the sense objects are superior than the senses, and the sense objects above the sense object, the superior is the mind, and manasastu para buddhi. Superior than the mind is the buddhi, and buddheratma man paraha, and the atma is the supreme and superior than the buddhi. Like that Kathopanishad explains. Now, so ultimately first treatment is mind, sense, mind and intellectual control. That is Bhagavan says here. And the meaning I didn't complete of the 41. Niyamya Bharatarshabha. Because why? Already I explained to you. Because they are papmanam. They make you to get into the sinful way of life, adharmic life. Therefore, Tvam, what will do? Prejahihi. May you give up completely, drop them like a hot potato. Okay? Prejahi, jahi means give up. Prakarshranena jahi, you have to. So jahihi prajatvam. Because enam papmanam, because of this sinful one, the cruel, this desire one, you will lose, otherwise they destroy. You know what they destroy? Gnana vijnana nashanam. Okay, they will destroy your gnanam and vijnanam. So what is gnanam and vijnanam? Gnanam means we are just trying to walk into the spiritual path. We are interested to walk in the spiritual path, but somehow these desires and the clinginess, attachment to the possessions and relations, wet garbage and dry garbage, they will keep pull you, and slowly, gradually, you will lose the common sense, and not only that, the real sense also will go away. So, Gnana means first of all, listening from the teacher what is what, and then Vijnanam, Viseshena Gnanam, and even Gnanam itself is not there, then where is the question of Vijnanam? Practically and theoretically, you will be ruined. To say simply, practically and theoretically, okay, experientially. So, otherwise, in the other words, they say it is paroksha, pratyaksha gnanam and paroksha gnanam. Okay, paroksha gnanam and aparoksha gnanam. Okay, these words are little complicated. There is a Brahman, there is a God, there is a uh, good way of spiritual life. This is paroksha jnana. But after knowing that, first of all, they won't allow you to know and walk, go nearer to it. They never. That's why many people can't come to the satsanga or listen to the Vedanta. Many may go to the temple. Many may go to the other places. Even the so-called religious people, only they are interested in going to the temples and doing this, that pariharams, but nobody ready to come and sit and listen to the what Shastra telling, what Bhagavan uh, taught in the Gita or Vedas in the Upanishads, the teacher, what is telling, they never go. So in this way, Jnana Vijnanam is common sense and the real sense all will get destroyed by this one desire culprit. So how important it is. That is the cause we told already, no? Kama and karma and janma. What you are achieving? Again you go through the same set of sukha dukkha and labha nashta and all kinds of pairs of opposites. How long? Why? Why you run? What, behind what you are running for? So this kind of discrimination, viveka, comes only for a very few people. Now, in the 42nd shloka, literally from the Kathopanishad, Bhagavan straight away brought and kept here. Full shloka. Already before also in second chapter he borrowed, but with little one word like that change is there. Okay? Najayate mriyate va kadachid. That is also from Kathopanishad. Now here, इन्द्रियाणि पराण्याहुः इन्द्रियेभ्यः परं मनः मनसस्तु परा बुद्धिः यो बुद्धे परतस्तु सः. Already I mentioned one shloka, no, for you, two shlokas. One is about the Ratha Kalpana, imaginary chariot, how this person means, so like, and that sloka continuation actually this shloka. Why? There we said up to that Atmanam Radhinam Vidde, Buddhim Sariram Rathamevachu, Buddhim Sarathim Vidde, Mana Pragraham, the steering. Now, after that, Indriyani, Ahuhu Indriyani Parani. Okay, they declare generally and Ahuhu. Ahu means Shastra says, wise people say like this, the sense organs are superior than the sense objects. The sense organs are superior than the sense objects. There also, I think, one sloka I referred and I told little in a reverse way. Indriyebhya para, indriyebhya para hyardhaha. The indriyas are superior than the indriya vishayas. Okay, that same thing on here. Indriyani parani ahu. Superior to the sense objects, parani. And that parani word we must understand that beyond the superior than the. Naturally, when indriyas are told, indriyas are running behind the vishayas, objects. So, sense organs are more superior than the sense objects because objects are all jadam, inert. And the mind is more superior than the sense organs. The sense organs. In what way? Because the mind is the one steering, controlling all the four wheels like, and one mind is holding, receiving the information from all the five sense organs. Sense organs. When we talk about the car or the chariot, actually all the five horses will go into one straight road. Or four wheels, the steering keep to go straight. But here five sense organs are meant for five different fields to go and receive the messages. So the mind will take care there. Sankalpa Vikalpatmakam Manaha in Tattvabodha, that description. Then, so the mind is compared superior than the mind is superior than the param indriyebhyaha buddhi tu. Okay? Beyond these indriyas and the mind, the buddhi is considered as the superior. Okay? And in fact, superior to this intellect also there is superior to the intellect and the mind, there is saha parahatu. Buddhehe paraha, buddhehe parataha to saha. Yeah, paratha, that which is superior to the intellect also is indeed the self or the Brahman or Atma. Where are these three, all these things now said? If you understand some extent, because it is all our story only, no? I have sense organs, and I have the mind, and I have the intellect. What is intellect? Nishchayatmika buddhi. To discern and decide is the buddhi, intellect. Many times, many things sense organs will see, and information goes inside. When you go to the shop or when you are doing window shopping, and but mind thinks that this is good, this is better, if I get it nice like that. But from inside, intellect says, hey, check your purse first, you don't have money. In your ATM there is no money, and why you are unnecessarily imagining and trying to buy that? No, don't want, come back. So intellect decides, intellect gives the suggestion to do or not to do. So intellect. But in fact, all these are, as I told in the Upanishad Sloka, are meant for whom? Who is the actually governor of all these things? Because of which all these matters are functioning, because of which light, by which consciousness, these are all matter only, no? Buddhi and mind, senses and outer objects, all are belong to the Pancha Mahabhutas only, and three gunas only. But there is anything which is not affected and influenced and would come under the list of these Pancha Bhutas and plus the three gunas in one way, otherwise we can take the Pancha Kosha analysis. Viveka is done in this shloka. Okay. Pancha Koshas, when you say it is Sthula Shariram Annamaya Kosham and the Pranamaya Kosham little bit inside, okay, vital body, and third is the Manomaya Kosham, mental body, fourth is intellectual sheath, Vijnanamaya Kosham, then five is called Anandamaya Kosham. Where that Ananda, where from that Ananda is coming? Ananda is coming to whom? Even after dropping this body, sense object, senses, mind, and the intellect, and everything, you when you forget temporarily in the sleep, where from this Ananda of the sleep is coming? Which is the source? Who is that source? That source is called Saha. Here just a pronoun is used, but it is paraha means superior. Okay? And one is more subtler than the another. Mahantam, that is pratyagatmascha. So three meanings Shankaracharya giving. So paraha. So one is paraha, paraha. But after that there is any paraha. Paratastu saha. Buddhehe parataha. Buddhehe tu saha. Yaha parataha. So that Atma. So unless otherwise you know this fact, what is your real essence? See, started this chapter as the Karma Yoga, but now concluding in the form of Jnana Yoga, because Karma is only a tool which makes you ready and prepare you and brings to the Jnana. But still, Gnana means what? It is just introduced now here. Little bit introduced in the second chapter as the sutra form, like, and that elaboration is needed. Now here gradually the Gnanam part also together simultaneously explains and takes you to the higher and ultimate the culmination. So here the Gnanam and so we are talking in the middle about the first aid treatment. Now, that first aid treatment, only first aid. Now, the permanent treatment is unless you recognize your essential nature, you can never drop your desires or you can never become free from the desires. Otherwise, one way or other, you keep on give the value to this valueless, relative, matter-oriented, empirical world. But once you recognize and catch the consciousness as I am, that consciousness, what is its nature, swarupam, okay? Ekaha, nityaha, saraha, satyaha, avinashi, akarta, abhokta, then once you recognize that, all these things, the agitations in the mind and craving for desires, all these things gradually become weak and comes down, becomes nil. So the permanent treatment is the Gnanam. That is what we must note it here. So after telling that, Bhagavan now concluding, uh, actually what is this particular point is discussed in the 42nd and 43rd sloka. What is the remedy? Okay, not only that, from 40 onwards, what we come to know that where the kama krodha, the places are told, hideouts are told, then how to tackle them. Okay, first aid treatment and permanent treatment. In that way, 41st sloka, therefore you start attack them. You start attack them. How to attack? Directly you cannot attack. First you start discipline your senses, mind and the intellect. Put a disciplined yogic lifestyle and listen to the Shastra, and then you have to recognize that what is real here, what is unreal, and then slowly permanent treatment. See, this is the Pariharam. Parihara means solution. Solution for the problem. Problems are all in the Anatma, matter, and no problem in the Atma, the consciousness. So that is what Bhagavan says. 43rd, the last shloka of this chapter. Evam buddheh param buddhva samstabhyatmanam atmana Jai Shetrum Mahabaho Kamarupam Durasadam. Unless otherwise you recognize this supreme ultimate fact, you cannot remove the desires. Hey Mahabaho, a strong and vigilant, alert person capable of receiving this my teaching, a Mahabaho, evam buddhva, having known in this way, having known in this way, what? Evam, this self, first of all, recognize and find out that who are you really? Who are you really? Unless you don't know that, as long as you think that I am the body, I am the mind, I am the intellect, you have to suffer. You cannot go out of this samsara. That is sure. So, evam buddhva, thus knowing this self, explained in the 42nd sloka, no? Param buddhehe, which is beyond the intellect. Beyond the intellect. See, intellect also is a matter. Sometimes we say my buddhi is not got corrupted, virus, and my buddhi is not functioning proper. Okay, so intellect also. We think intellect means remembering and all that, and I achieved something, and I can remember, I can repeat so many. I am a big management officer. This that all that intelligence. When the body becomes weak and when you become sick and old, where that intelligence goes? So don't depend and believe on this intelligence also. A great intelligence genius people, when they are in the old age at the death on the deathbed, they forgot their own name. They forgot their own name. One example that generally they say our Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishna, the first president of India, he came to that state in that old age before the death. Even he don't know his name. Then what to say about the others? So here Buddha, Param Buddha, Evam Buddhehe Param Buddha. By knowing this Atma is more superior even than that intellect, then samstabhya atmanam atmana. See here two atmas are used. One is you study your mind, the wavering mind, the wandering mind, the confused mind, the deluded mind by your own higher mind. See, even though mind and intellect are lower than the Atma, that's why Atma we are not creating. Atma we are not bringing newly. Only thing recognizing that I am the Atma. That's it. But to do that, what is the problem? Who are standing in the middle as obstacles? These mind and the intellect and the senses, which are becomes the victim of this desire. Desire kills you, man, and need fills you. Remember this. So samstabhya means and make study of your mind, study, okay, properly, guide it through, guide your lower mind with the higher mind. That means go to the teacher, listen to the Shastra. We want the teacher who teaches the Shastra, the words of the Bhagavan, Krishna, or Veda, Upanishads. We don't want the other teachers again who makes you to put you into the samsara by telling karma, by telling this and that and prashchitta, parihara, that all so many are there. Or material knowledge you learn from so many teachers. But here you need a Shrotriya Brahmanishta Guru who can talk only about the truth and make you to understand the truth and make you to abide in the truth. We need that. So for that you need to put your intellect. Okay, that's why ultimately we have to use these instruments only. Lower mind should be governed, controlled by the higher mind. Don't say, never say, nothing is in our hands, we can't do anything like that. No. Be as a optimist. Then, Jahi, conquer. Durasadam Shatrum Kamarupam. This dur, Durvigneya, which is very difficult to conquer, such a enemy who is nothing but this kama, the desire, the enemy which is in the form of desire, kama rupam, and durasaram, which is very difficult. But don't say impossible. Don't say impossible, because later Arjuna is going to ask this question also. It looks very difficult, Krishna. Yes, who said it is easy? Difficult only. But don't think, don't conclude impossible. So in this way, conquer, be courageous, walk, walk in this path. You will be bound to be successful when you listen to the scriptures and the Shastra. In this way, we have concluded this third chapter, Karma Yoga. Now, just I will read the Pushpika and conclude. Om Tat Sat Iti Shrimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Karma Yogo Nama Trutiyodhyayah Hari Om Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ हरि ओम् तत्सत्